Glavin, and the testing of the audio so that we have sound. And I gotta reload the page, and is it going? It's going. Yay. Alright, Dementia Radio now, and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hi, Devo.
Hi.
How's it going? What are we doing on the show? Do we have people?
We have people. We have Mike Bolly of Two Sleeps. Hi, Mike.
Hey.
Excellent.
Mike's the only one who has energy because I have a massive head cold and got no sleep last night. And Luke is exhausted for some reason, too, so...
Well, we'll find out soon enough.
So,
is there any other info before we need to go on to getting caught up with what we've been doing since last week?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Welcome to episode 739 of the Funny Music Podcast. The title of this week's episode is Skate Rot, which I will put in the chat. And I think Mike's going to have to carry this show because we're just, just out of it. So,
Channel David Lee Roth.
Yeah, there you go. I did invite Massively Offensive to the show, but they never responded to me. I get the impression that this is like a side project for them, and they don't check that email all that often. So they'll probably get it in 3 months or something. Anyway, let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, Saturday I went to a urologist. And
those are fun.
They shoved a camera into a place. Do you want to guess which place?
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Here's a hint. It's the least fun place to shove a camera. Oh, man, that sucked a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. Never had that done. Hopefully never have to, but yeah.
And then the following day, I went to the airport and I picked up Josh Racy and Alex Ann, who were visiting California for the week, because this is the annual Alex Ann visits Luke thing, except this year, instead of Carrie coming along, it's Josh coming along. And the main reason for that was last year when Carrie came and they finally got to ride the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance ride at Disneyland. As soon as they stepped off of it, Carrie said, okay, Josh absolutely has to come next year so he can ride this ride. And the unfortunate situation is that between both their households, there are a whole bunch of pets that they need to make sure are taken care of, and just basically due to that, both of them couldn't come at the same time, so Carrie had to stay behind, and Josh came this year so that he could experience Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and go to the Black Spire Outpost in Batuu and do Rise of the Resistance and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run and then, other stuff. So basically, they showed up on on the 11th. On the 12th, we went to Santa Monica Pier and we filmed 8 different puppet videos with Alex Ann because I decided to, because I had an extra puppet body left over, I was able to make a puppet of Alex Ann so that she wouldn't have to continue playing Devo Spice with a weird voice.
Appreciate that.
So what happened was that I was intending like, okay, well, Alexanne will be her own puppet, and I'll be my puppet, and we'll figure out other stuff to do. And what ended up happening was, like, literally every short video we made, Alexanne was casting all of us to play different parts, continuously. So it was like kind of a cacophony of insanity. And I posted the first 8 we filmed that day to to the Facebook.
For some reason, it would only let me view the first one. I couldn't see the other 7. I don't know what I was doing wrong.
The other 7 were left as comments underneath the first one, and it may have taken a while for them to upload. So that might have been why you didn't see them.
Okay.
So anyway, I posted those 8 right away. And then, like I said, we went to Disneyland on Tuesday. And then yesterday we basically was mostly a chill day. We went to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery so we could see the peacocks walking around. And we filmed more puppet videos. And then today, a friend of mine got us free passes in Universal Studios, so we went there early in the morning so we could ride the Mario Kart ride and do the studio tour.
Nice.
And then we came back here, and we filmed more puppet videos. I'm taking them back to the airport tomorrow morning. So basically, for those of you who did see that Facebook post and saw the first 8 videos, yeah. After those 8 videos, I think we've filmed like about 20 more. And pretty much all of them are meant to be ads for the FuMPCast. So here is Alexanne's business plan for us, Devo, is that she thinks we need to release one of these videos a month, every month, as a way to promote the FuMPCast.
Okay.
And just that will be, the surefire way to get people to watch the FuMPCast.
So, it's more marketing than I'm doing now, so...
Yeah. So... I've been uploading them to a Google Drive file, and I need to upload the bunches that we just made today. So what I was thinking instead might be a more interesting challenge for somebody out there who likes to do video editing and likes the FuMPCast, would to give them the link to that Google Drive file that has all of the videos that we've filmed the past few days, and here, just go through all of them, and if you can, within all of these, edit together one coherent ad for the FuMPCast that actually explains what it is. That would be like a new version of a FuMP video contest. Here, take these, whatever it is, 28 videos, and from them, find all the clips where we're actually talking about FuMPCast stuff and make a coherent ad with these puppets. But so if anybody, whether you're going to make that video or not, if people want to see those puppet videos, just email me, thegreatlukeski@gmail.com, and say, hey, I want to see the videos, and I'll send you a link to that Dropbox folder so you can see the videos, because I certainly have no problem with us posting one a month, if Devo really wants us to. But I have very little faith that they will bring up the viewership/listenership of our podcast. But if we don't care about that and we just like posting goofy content for the sake of posting goofy content, then more power to us, I suppose. Yeah. But overall, it has been a fun week, and Kalani got to come hang out with us a bit on Sunday, and she made up with us at the Disney park, so that was cool. And other than that, yeah, I actually took, Sunday through today off of work just so that I could have the maximum amount of time hanging out with them, because, that's how I roll, I suppose. And then tomorrow I drop them off, and then I go back to my dumb day job. So there you have it. What have you been up to, Devo Spice?
I opened for Green Jello on Saturday
Woo!
night. It's quite possibly where I picked up this cold. I don't know for sure. But, yeah, that was an amazing show. I managed to sell all my tickets with the help of 7 or 8 people who bought it even though they couldn't go, which is amazing. So for those people, I'm going to be making a CD of the recording of the show along with the video and downloads and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to be working on that over the next couple of days and get that out in the mail soon. The show itself was great. the audience, besides the people who were there to see me, it normally at these type of shows, like, the audience trickles in and misses the opening acts, but this time almost everybody was there from the beginning, and almost everybody came up to watch my set, so I had a really good crowd. They had no idea what to expect, but they seemed to really enjoy me too. There were these three guys in, like, the front stage left area who were really into me, and I have no idea who they were. They were not any of the people who bought tickets from me, but they really enjoyed my stuff for some reason. So that it turns out the sound guy streams all of the shows that he runs. So I didn't know this until just before I went on stage, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have posted about it so people could have tuned in live. But the stream is still up on YouTube, and I linked to it from my website on the entry for that show. So if you go to devospice.com, and if you want to get to the past shows page, which is in the news section, the easiest thing to do is just on the homepage, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see links to all the pages down there. And it says news and past shows, and it should be the first. It is the first one. On the page for the show is a link to his YouTube stream of the entire show, including the other acts. And he seemed to really like me. There were a couple of clips where I was watching the playback, and, like, the beginning of Wet Ass Pussycat, like, he was really laughing pretty hard in the sound booth. So I mean, that was good to see. So he liked me, and also he liked me because my setup was nice and simple, and I got up and set up, and we did it quick, and then I broke down in a minute and a half so that the next band could go up on stage.
So wait, did you have video?
Yes.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah, so I filmed it using my phone from, like, stage right in the back. I have footage from a couple of the people in the audience from different clips from different things, and then I have the footage from his stream, which is taken from the sound booth, which was stage left. So I'm going to take all of that footage and edit it together into something that's a little more interesting to watch than just, a still camera from the back of the room. So it was a great show. The band that went on after me was called Love and Murder, and the woman who is the lead singer of that band has an amazing voice. Like, it's a hard rock band, and she's one of these people who can scream and sing at the same time and just sound amazing. And she was wearing a Trauma t-shirt, so I was like, all right, I got to talk to her about that. And turns out she has been in several of their movies, including Romeo and Juliet and Poultrygeist. And at their merch table, I should have bought one. They have their homemade hot sauce called Toxie's Sauce, which is Toxic Avenger themed hot sauce, and it's green and chunky, and it looks like the green slime from the Toxic Avenger that turned him into the Toxic Avenger. So I thought that was really cool. Third band was the Convalescents, who are described as a death metal horror band, and I guess all their songs are about gore and horror and stuff like that, but it was all so it was impossible to tell. But they did have some really cool effigies on the mic stands of, like, dead people and bones and stuff, and then they threw body parts out at the audience, which is always fun. And then Green Jello, holy shit. First time seeing Green Jello, and I was rewatching the stream with the sound guy, and he was like, yeah, they asked me how many inputs I have. I said 32, and they said, I don't think that's going to be enough. At one point, I counted 15 people on stage. They had 3 bass players. They had all these giant inflatable lawn ornaments, and I mean the big size ones. They had this big, like, Mr. Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas, like, going like an arch behind the drummer, they had like this giant, it was a UFO with like the abduction light sticking out the bottom. There was like a big chipmunk or something like that. And these things were all just getting tossed around in the audience. And then in the stream, you hear the sound guy type, "What is happening?" You know? And then they passed out like 100 pool noodles to the crowd. So everybody had multiple pool noodles, and we're all just hitting each other with the pool noodles and waving them in the air and stuff. And then...
Did they do the cartoon mosh pit?
Cartoon mosh pit.
Where they like gave everyone like these big weird masks of all.
Oh
the
yeah. So what they did was, first thing is, something in my mouth. What's it? Bill Manspeaker, the singer, was up on stage and he goes, "I need 3 volunteers," and he picks 3 people. He's like, "All right, you are gonna be the cows for the Sacred Cow song, and the 3 little pigs. Go backstage, get your costumes." So those people go off backstage. And then he goes, "Oh, we need more. I need 30 volunteers." And he just goes, just like, 1, 2, 3, 4, just pointing up at all of you, go backstage, and by backstage I mean outside. And he pointed them all outside, and this line of people just went outside. They all went outside, and they all came back in with the giant cartoon head things on, and they just watched the show like that. It was absolute chaos, and I loved every minute of it. So, if you get a chance to see Green Jello, I highly recommend them. It's definitely an experience.
Yeah, it was like they raided every, Home Depot and Menards they could find to find every gigantic inflatable from Christmas and Halloween and just put them all on stage at the same time. Just amazing.
The sound guy was not happy. If you read the comments, he was not happy.
The question is, how much would it cost to book them at either FuMPFest or MarsCon?
I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to. I should have. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to speak to Bill Manspeaker, so I could have asked him. Yeah. One of the guys from Green Jello plays the saxophone, and I don't know if he's part of the band or if he's one of the guest musicians, because I guess in every place they stop, they have a handful of guest musicians come up on stage. But this dude had a jean jacket that said Green Jello something with like his nickname on the back. But he wore a top hat and he had a beard, and he looked just like a very young Dr. Demento.
Oh wow!
And one of the guys who was there to see me was talking to him and told him that, and the guy took it as a compliment, because apparently he does a comedy podcast, so he knows who Dr. Demento is and stuff.
You know what band should open for Green Jello?
Who?
Skate Rot.
Good. I wasn't sure how the hell I was going to work that one into
They're a ska gore metal band.
There you go. the random word generator I use is weird sometimes. So yeah, it was an awesome evening. Thank you so much to everyone who came out and everyone who bought tickets from me. It was so much fun. In other news, remember last week I showed off my new hat because I said I lost the other one? I found the other hat.
Was it next to my hairbrush?
Probably. You know where it was in the bottom of my backpack. And Wildcard is subscribed for 44 months in a row. Thank you, Wildcard.
Yay!
The bottom of my backpack, which I have used multiple times since FuMPFest. I have packed it and unpacked it multiple times since FuMPFest, including just last weekend when I was in Connecticut with my parents. So I don't know how I missed it, but there it was at the bottom of my... So now I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this hat. I mean, maybe I'll raffle it off at FuMPFest if people are interested in, a 15-year-old hat that's never been washed. So...
they can make their own Devo clones.
They can.
Your sweat.
And I just posted about this on Facebook. It's another thing I can't shut my brain off about. Recently, I went back and re-listened to Tony Goldmark's podcast, Escape from Walt Disney, and at some point, somebody, it might have been him, mentioned a spin-off show, and immediately my brain went, ooh, we can do this with horror. And I've kind of been thinking about it ever since, but it's been like, I don't have time, and like I always lose these arguments with my brain. So I just put out some feelers to see if this is the type of thing anybody would be interested in listening to or watching or possibly donating to Patreon on, because this is the type of thing where I would have to monetize it in order for it to be worth it to do, because it's going to take up some time. But so far, people seem to be... It's gotten a good response so far. So,
Well, good.
So keep an eye out for that. I need a title, though. I need a good title because Escape from Walt Disney is like the perfect title for that show. And
I suggested Escape from Crypt Devo.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it or meaning, but I'll figure something out. I may just go with like the Random Horror Podcast or something like that. Horror at Random or something.
Random Acts of Violence.
Okay. Yeah, something along those lines that could work. Okay, cool. All right. So that's just enough rambling out of me. Mike, what have you been up to?
Oh, my life has been all home repairs and music lately.
Well, the music sounds fun, at least. I can't speak for the home repairs, but...
Yeah, the music is fun. I don't know. The home repairs I don't really mind so much. I was a contractor for a while, so
okay.
I'd rather see it done right anyways.
Yeah, I'm always... Like, we do a lot of stuff ourselves around here, and I hate it. Because, like... Remember I said I'm so busy, I don't have time for this stuff? Like... That is not a good use of my time. Like, me laying tile in the bathroom. Like, no. Fucking hire someone to do that. I have other things I would rather be doing. But my wife is like, no, I want to do it. You know, I'll do it ourselves. And, like, my wife is the handyman of this household. So she likes doing that kind of stuff. And I hate it. But
Well, as long as one person in the house likes doing it, you're good.
So I always lose that argument, too. So... So you posted a song.
I did.
Give us a quick intro. We will give it a listen.
Well, you know, it's nothing fancy. It's just a little general rock and roll.
All right. Here it is. right. So this is the second song you've posted that was a song about music styles, because the last song you posted back in April was stoner rock, and now you've got general rock and roll. So I'm noticing a theme here.
Yeah, I'm on a kick lately where I'm writing songs about the genre that the song is. I don't know what really spurred it on, but yeah, that's what I've been up to.
So you have more
I think
of
there's
these
going to be
planned?
more, and one of them is going to be psychedelic rock, and that one's probably going to have to be about 25 minutes long.
Okay,
So
all right.
we should probably call some other musicians from the FuMP and say, hey, do you want to do like a 30-second song or something, just to make sure there's room on the CD?
Okay, yeah, we'll plan that out. So are you only staying within the rock genre, or are you going to do like a gangster rap song too?
I'm going to go all over. I think the next one might be funk, actually, and I was thinking about seeing if Dr. Sarcophagi might want to lend some vocals to that,
Ooh.
because that would be pretty sweet.
The two of you together would be amazing, yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, definitely reach out to him. I'm sure he'd be down for it.
Nice. But yeah, I think I did two different rock ones, because the initial inspiration was from a scene from Parks and Rec, where this really smarmy character is bragging about going to like a Warrant cover band, and he's like, and they're like, what was that? And he's like, just general rock and roll. And I was like, that needs to be an actual song.
Well, if you do blues, you can just cover Weird Al's generic blues, and then you'll have that done.
Right? There you go. See, we're ticking them off. I'm going to have a whole album of these in no time.
Yeah. I mean, technically, most of the gangster rap songs are about gangster rap anyway, so, I mean, you can just pick
That's a
one
really good
and
point,
cover it.
right?
And, yeah. Actually, a lot of the funk songs are about funk also.
That's interesting. I wonder how many genres that's true for.
Yeah.
Probably quite a few.
Not too, yeah, I don't know too many.
Music is really full of itself.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, I think that's why there's basically never been any hip hop cover bands, because all of the songs are basically about, like, you know, hi, my name is Fred Smith and I live on this specific street, and it's like every lyric is about very specifically that person's life.
Yeah.
And can't just be like, yeah.
I think there are Beastie Boys covered bands. Isn't there one that's an all-female group?
Oh yeah, She's Crafty.
She's Crafty, that's right. Yeah.
I think they're from
That's an
Chicago.
excellent name.
Yeah. So what was it like writing general rock and roll?
This was one of the ones, sometimes they just kind of come out, and it's just effortless. It just doesn't have to think about it at all, and that's what happened with this one. I just sort of got I thought of the chorus, the hook, and then the rest of it just wrote itself. I tried to hit as many tropes that you hear in rock and roll songs all the time, like dust off your records, and
Yeah.
and yeah, there's so many of those in rock music that that was it.
Yeah. There are a fair amount of rock and roll songs about rock and roll too.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah. Yeah, wow, there's a lot of, like, pick a genre, there's a song about it in that genre, now that you mention it. I don't know if there's any death metal songs about death metal.
That's a good point.
Yeah. They're usually about death or Satan or something. Close enough.
Or goblins.
Or goblins, yeah.
My favorite band, Necrogoblicon.
Necrogoblicon, yeah. They were on tour with Psychostick for a while, I think.
Yeah.
And Snake Rot. Or Skate Rot, whatever it was.
Skate Rot.
I think they toured with the Metalocalypse band too.
Oh, did they? Nice.
Yeah, that would have been a really cool show to see.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. I always wondered how the Metalocalypse show was live, because, like, do the people playing look like the characters? I mean,
Do they do it like that Blues Traveler video where the band is like behind the curtain and they just have cartoons playing on
maybe, yeah, I don't
the
know.
big screen?
Yeah. But I'll have to see if they ever do another tour. I'm going to make a point to go. Yeah, my brain is shot. So what else is going on with you?
Not much really.
You working on music for other people or for yourself?
Yeah, I got Jeff's double horror album.
Oh, that's
I've been
right.
spending a lot of time on.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty sweet. That's shaping up pretty nicely. He's going to be performing, I think, at the Jamboree, the Mutant Fam Jamboree, or the Joe Bob Jamboree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. When is that?
I think it's the beginning of October, the 5th and 6th, I think.
Somewhere in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I should see if I can go to that, because that's not that far.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Jeff's new album. And if I had a job, I'd be donating to his IndieGogo, but sorry. Food comes first. Food for Devo first.
It's a good priority to have.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I would like to plug my Twitch show every Sunday at 2:30 Central. We do sort of a mix of serious music and funny music. We got a couple Weird Al songs in the mix right now. And yeah, it's a good time. So twitch.tv/twosleepsmusic.
All right. Let's do some news. Oh, are you sticking around or do you have to take off?
I got to take off, actually.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you
joining
guys for
us.
having me.
Catch you later,
indeed.
man.
Take it easy, guys.
Later, dude.
This is the FuMP.
You don't fit me, you think you're the victim? Well, here's my new dictum. You're gonna be sorry, cause I know how to pick 'em. Lawyer up, file that suit. I get big money and your little dog too. And I'm buying one of those.
Just suck your brains out, cause she's a succubus and she's a milf. Mommy, I wanna get friendly with milf. Mommy, I wanna get filthy with milf.
Highfalutin, arrow shooting, hammer swinging punks. Then some doctor says he's moving between universes. What? But I've only been hurt.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Here's a song just to say I hope you have a crappy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. There's a God. I will pray for you to have a crappy birthday.
Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
In the news, Songs at the Center is having a comedy songwriting special. Songs at the Center is a show that airs on PBS, and it airs at different times on different PBS stations, so check your local listing. This particular episode features Carla Ulbrich, Steve Goody, and Haywood Banks. From the description, Songs at the Center presents a comedy songwriting special featuring three masters of the craft, radio's favorite Toastmaster Haywood Banks and the Bluebird Cafe's Sunday Songwriters Night host Steve Goody, both of whom are regulars on Dr. Demento's outrageous radio program, and our favorite songwriting zany Carla Ulbrich rounds out the show in hysterical fashion, truly a thinking woman's comedian. The show is hosted by singer-songwriter Eric Nesda. It was actually recorded last October. It is now finally being broadcast sometime coming up soon. So check your local PBS listings for this episode. The Arrogant Worms IndieGogo is up to $14,459, which is 57% of the way to their goal. So if you would like to get involved, you can go to IndieGogo.com and look up the Arrogant Worms for their new album. All right, we have a little bit of FuMPFest news. We have some bad news first. Lauren Mayer has had to cancel for personal reasons, so she's not going to be able to travel for the a couple of months at least. So, but we have 2 new artists to announce, and that this will, I believe, round out our lineup. Carla Ulbrich and Ross Childs will be coming out to perform, and we will be doing a live edition of Escape from the Secret Lab with the Consortium of Genius at FuMPFest. So that's going to be lots of fun.
So what's the full lineup then?
I gotta pull up the other email.
I'm asking because I'm going to be making a Luke Ski update, and to know straight from you which ones I'm allowed to say.
Yep. So, yeah, I'll get them up on the website either tomorrow or soon. The guest of honor is the Consortium of Genius. Performing artists are 2D6, Carla Ulbrich, Holy Bongwater, Pastor Haster, that's Hastur, Ross Childs, and Steve Goody.
Ah, okay. That was the one I was missing. Steve Goody.
Okay. Which I think
and other people will be there too, and doing stuff on a stage.
Yes, other
like
people will be
Devo,
there too.
And Luke Ski, and Ian.
And Chris.
And I assume, and Chris.
Yeah, that the Escape from the Secret Lab is going to be against the FuMP All-Stars. So it's going to be the COG versus the 4 of us, either round robin or doing a couple songs each. We haven't decided yet, but it's going to be a fun time. All right.
Cirque du Ian what?
Yeah, right. All right. That's all I got. Oh, crap. I forgot to look up tour dates.
I got a thing that I can talk about while you're looking up tour dates.
Why don't you do your thing?
Well, after over a 9-month absence, there's a new episode of Luke and Carrie's Bad Rapport. Yay! It's
Dun, dun, dun.
our podcast that occasionally exists. Episode number 144, Verbal Speed Bumps, was posted just a few days ago, 3 days ago. Let's see. The description reads, after 9 months of absence, we now proudly give birth to another episode of Bad Rapport. You're welcome for that visual. The first segment of the show was recorded when Luke was visiting Carrie's house in Chicago last December, which means that segment is chock full of interruptions from the outspoken and recently puppeted Alex Ann. This also led to the creation of a new mini-segment, surely to return in future episodes, called Luke and Alex Ann Do a Bit. The rest of the episodes recorded recently over Zoom, in which Luke and Carrie review the hilarious, filthy, and quite popular R-rated satanic musical animated series Has Been Hotel, whose first season can be seen on Amazon Prime.
I need to watch that.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful. Be sure to watch the pilot on YouTube first, because it sets up the rest of the series that's on Amazon Prime. Anyway. Let's see. And before the show concludes, with the reading of listener comments, Luke did a What's Luke Plugging Now segment that was so long he decided to manually speed up the sound file to 1.5 times just to spare you all an additional 10 minutes of hearing him ramble and yawn through his interminable list of promotional messages. Yikes. And then, of course, I list off all the people who do funny music who are in the episode. The episode length is 2 hours and 21 minutes long, so far from the longest episode, episodes I have done in recent years, so it might be manageable, listenable thing. And we already have a couple of comments on it, so hooray for that. So go to badrapport.com, BADRAPPORT.com, and check out the newest episode of Verbal Speed Bumps. And I also wanted to ask Devo, because Manic Mondays is on Spotify. How do you get a podcast on Spotify?
Fuck if I know. I didn't submit it.
How did you get your podcast on Spotify?
I don't know. I don't know if I submitted it. I don't remember. There might be just a way to submit podcasts.
Okay, I guess I could Google it like a normal person would.
Sorry, I don't remember.
I mean, at first I was worried about but I play other people's songs, and I'm like, well, wait, they have Manic Mondays, so apparently they don't care.
No, Spotify especially doesn't care, because the whole point of Spotify is the podcast on Spotify, I believe, can play Spotify music, because people can listen on Spotify. I think that's one of the advantages. But, I mean, of course, I've never, had a problem with people, being concerned about me playing their songs.
Yep.
All right.
So what about those tour dates?
Tour dates. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Mondays and Tuesdays online, Bill Larkin. The 18th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab, featuring the Consortium of Genius. The 24th through the 29th on a cruise ship, which is Gakugan, Bonnie Gordon. And the 30th through 31st in San Diego, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. All right, birthdays. Coming up on the 17th, Amy Engelhardt. And coming up on the 18th, Tony Goldmark. Happy birthday, folks.
Woohoo! Yay!
All right, second song of this week is the FuMP debut from Massively Offensive. Here is Man's Best Friend.
Another lonely night at home, humping while I cry. No one seems to leave me satisfied. I just can't seem to find a girl that does the trick for me. At least I've got a friend for company. You bring me your smiling face each day to take me out on walks. You greet me at the door after my job. At first I thought the things I felt were scurrilous and wrong, but then I felt the touch of tender paws. I wanna fuck my dog. I wanna fuck my dog. Well, he's always been unfaithful to the end. How could that be wrong? I finally understand the true meaning of man's best friend. All my life I wondered why I suffered endlessly. Now I've come to see that I spent half my life barking up the wrong tree.
I don't know about none of that. I ain't some desperate freak. I'd never turn to bestiality. Only godless man could think to turn this world bizarre. I would never drive myself that far. I'm gonna fuck my car. I'm gonna fuck my car. 'Cause it can take me places I can only dream. I don't need a jump start. It don't matter if your tailpipe ain't clean. All my life I wondered why I suffered endlessly. Now I thrive, feel so alive. You take me for the joyride of my dreams.
Those two fellas just ain't right. They need some therapy. Take my lecture on psychology. Human sexuality's a spectrum we're all on. Your parents don't decide what's right or wrong. I wanna fuck my mom.
Oops. Wrong thing. All right, so Massively Offensive, as I said, I think this is a side project. If you look at their bio on the FuMP, it says like the singer, the bassist, the drummer. It all says redacted. So,
isn't that the last lead vocalist that we heard? That sounded like Bone Cage.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't know for sure. Maybe. But, yeah, you can find information about them and some swag at massivellyoffensive.com. And you can imagine what kind of swag they have. So, all right. Let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. 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 You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Lee, let's sing a song about Lee, let's sing a song about
Lee, you're testing my ADD.
Eclectic Lee wrote, "Congratulations, Luke. Last week, episode 737 wasn't close, but this time, episode 738, you said the episode title just 6 seconds after Devo, giving you a lock on the fastest say the title record." So, congratulations, Luke.
Yay, I did a thing. Yeah.
And over on YouTube,
Hey, log!
Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, "Glad to see a legend from Dr. Demento like Sulu be part of the FuMP crew. It'll be really surprised if the likes of Whimsical Will joins you guys." That'd be neat, but Will only does cut-ins, which I don't think we can legally post.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's do some teasing.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. And I have a job. Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by Tom Smith.
Woo! Yes! Tom Smith! Tom Smith! Tom Smith! Tom Smith! And it's all because of me!
Yep.
And for multiple reasons and ways.
Yep.
So I'm happy.
And Tuesday's song is by a new artist, so you will have to wait and see. And that last song gave me an idea for a playlist topic. I'm going to do massively offensive songs.
How clever!
Yes. 'Cause I've got several. we were just sharing some with Dizman on Facebook this week.
I had this CD. I kind of doubt I still own it. But if I do, it's way back in my Wisconsin archives. And I found this sometime during the middle of the 90s when the notion of offensiveness was a big deal, in the public discourse. So the title of the CD was simply, "This is Offensive." And it was like a compilation album of songs that are supposedly offensive, but it kind of felt like they grabbed a few songs since they already existed, and then a few random comedy musicians put together this album. They just kind of threw together a few more fairly low quality offensive comedy songs to round out the album. The only track I specifically remember that was a song that people had heard of before was there was a rap song called "I Wanna Be a Marine." I remember there was a music video for it, and that it was on the Brothers Grunt cartoon on MTV. I'm trying to think. A couple of the other titles of the songs they created for it were, one was called "No Safe Sex Allowed." I think another one was called "The Caucasian Guilt Blues" or something like that. It's kind of stuff that has aged, horrifically. I'm sure. But anyway, if anyone else out there listening has heard of the CD titled simply "This is Offensive," the cover looks like it's like a brown paper bag kind of thing, like how they used to wrap up porn, and then in the kind of army spray painted font, it just said "This is Offensive" on the front, and I don't think they listed any artists on the back. That which was another interesting thing. They were trying to keep it all secret who made the album or something.
Yeah, that just reminded me. I have the Opie and Anthony's Demented World, which has a couple of really offensive things on it, but I doubt any of this stuff is on Spotify. I'll have to check.
Probably throw a. Oh wait, we haven't put any of the Cirque du Soleil albums on Spotify yet, have we?
Yeah, we have, and one of them was taken down. Because comedy. Yeah.
Can we put it back up?
We can try. I think both. I think Procrastinators of the Apocalypse is up there, and I think Stupid Cowboy Thing Volume 2 is up. I think Volume 1 was taken down. Or maybe vice versa. I forget which. I'll have to check.
Well, how are they going to understand Volume 2 without hearing Volume 1? They're going to be lost.
Right? I mean...
Well, if it costs another $20, I'll pitch it in if we can get that album back up there. So,
I'll have to check.
Just listed as alternative.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Everything's alternative now. We are alternative. That sounds wrong. All right. All right, so Massively Offensive is at massivellyoffensive.com. Two Sleeps is at... Where the hell is he? twosleepsmusic.com? Let me check. Because he only plugged his... twosleeps.com. The number 2sleeps.com, which goes to his YouTube page. Okay.
And Bad Rapport is at badrapport.com.
Badrapport.com. And I did listen to that episode all the way through. I finished it yesterday.
Excellent.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice with a cold.
And I'm Luke Ski, and I'm tired. And Massively Offensive isn't here. And
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org. And join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
"Gotta sign up for the email."